And we're moving on into Chapter 8. Okay, we're going to talk about doing exponent properties here involving products. So quickly, let's review and talk about an exponent. An exponent is made up of, well, an exponent is part of a power, right? So if I have something like 4 to the third power, okay, the exponent is going to be this 3 here. That's my exponent. Wow, that's some terrible writing. That's my exponent, okay? And then the 4 is the base, okay? And what the base is the number that I'm multiplying over and over again. And the exponent just tells me how many times I'm going to multiply it, okay? Well, let's take this idea a little bit further here, and let's look at maybe a couple of examples. Actually, more than a couple. Let's look at many examples here and kind of get a better understanding here, okay? Well, here's the problem we have, okay? So we have 7 to the third power times 7 to the fifth power, okay? Well, this is going to equal to 7 to the third plus 5. And really what this is saying is if I take, right, 7 to the third power. 7 to the third power looks like 7 times 7 times 7. This right here is going to be 7 to the third power. And 7 to the fifth power is times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7. Okay? This right here is 7 to the fifth power. Okay? And really what we're talking about is, well, since we're multiplying these all together, it's really how many times am I multiplying 7? Well, I'm multiplying it 3, and I'm multiplying it 5. And if you think about that, 3 and 5 is an addition problem, and that turns into 7 to the 8th power, right? Because all together here, I have 7 multiplied 8 times. Okay? Well, let's take a look at another one. Here we have 9 times 9 to the 8th times 9 squared. Well, this right here, this 9 is going to have, is only one of them. So we have an exponent of 1. All right, and then we have 9 to the 8th times 9 squared. And really when you're multiplying those all together, at 1 9 times 8 9s and 2 9s is all together going to give me 11 9s. Okay, I'm multiplying 9 11 times. All right, we'll take a look at C here. We've got negative 5 times negative 5 to the 6th power. Well, we have 1. Right, we have 1 negative 5, and really we're just the base. The base can be a negative number. Okay, it doesn't have to be a positive number. And so what we're doing is how many times are we multiplying negative 5 here? Right, we have the same base. How many times are we multiplying it? Well, we're multiplying it 1 time, and then we're multiplying it 6 times. So altogether we're multiplying it 7 times. And the same will hold true with variables. If I have multiply x 4 times and x 3 times, and so altogether I'm multiplying it x 7 times. All right, well, let's do this. Why don't you go ahead, take a second here, pause the video, and try doing this one. All right, hopefully you got 3 squared and 7 squared. Together, when you add it, you're going to get 3 to the 9th power. All right, why don't you pause the video and try that one. Okay, well, hopefully you realize that 5 by itself has a power of 1. So 5 to the first power times 5 to the 9th power. Well, how many times are you multiplying 5? You're multiplying it 10 times. Okay, well, why don't you try the pausing the video and doing this one. Okay, again, the base here is negative 7. I'm multiplying it 2 times, and I'm multiplying it 1 time. So together I'm multiplying it 3 times. Okay, you have negative 7 times negative 7 times negative 7. And finally, why don't you go ahead and pause the video and do this one. Okay, well, hopefully you put the 1 as an exponent for that last x there, so you get x squared times x to the 6th times x to the 1st. Okay, add them all together, gives you x being multiplied 9 different times. Okay, well, now we have this idea of, okay, 2 to the 5th raised to the 3rd power. Okay, well, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look. And really, on the inside here, on the parentheses, what I'm doing is I'm doing 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And then I'm raising that to the 3rd power. So I'm multiplying 2 5 times, and I'm doing that 3 times. Okay? Well, that means I'm going to have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Right? So this is going to look like 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Okay? This is 1 2 to the 5th. Times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. This is another 2 to the 5th. Yep, I'm going to do this all the way. times 2 times 2 times 2. And then this one here, this is 2 to the 5th, okay? And I'm multiplying all these. And so at the end here, how many times did I multiply 2? Well, I did 2 to the 5th once. I did 2 to the 5th. I did 2 to the 5th once here. I did 2 to the 5th twice, and then I did 2 to the 5th 3 times. Altogether, we have 2 to the 15th power. Okay. Now, do I expect you to write this out every single time? No. That would be cruel and unusual punishment. It'd be a violation of your constitutional rights. But if you need to do it once or twice to help you out to understand, then please do. Okay, so that's really what it's looking like. We have 2 to the 5th 3 times. That's going to give you 2 to the 15th. Okay, why don't you take a look at this one and try doing it yourself. Pause the video. All right, well then you have negative 6 squared, and you do that 5 times. So altogether, you're multiplying negative 6 10 times. How about this one? Pause the video, try it. Okay, this one you have x squared, and you do x squared 4 times. So it's x squared times x squared times x squared times x squared. Well, altogether, that's going to be x to the 8th. Ooh, this is a challenging one. Why don't you go ahead and try doing this one? Pause the video. Okay, well, what we have to realize here is, inside the parentheses, that's just your base, okay? It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the slightest about your inside here, okay? Y to the y plus 2, that's just inside. You're taking that and multiplying it 6 times. And then you have 2 of those. So altogether, you're multiplying y plus 2 to the 12th power. Okay, so why don't you pause the video, you try this one. Okay, hopefully you did 4 squared, and you do that 7 times, so you get 4 to the 14th. Try this one, pause the video. Okay, this one is negative 2 to the 4th power, and then I'm raising that to the 5th power. So all together, right, I'm doing negative 2 to the 4th power 5 times, so it's negative 2 to the 20th power. Okay, try this one with the variable. Okay, I hope you did n. You did 3 times 6 because you're raising that power, right? N cubed 6 times. It's n to the 18th. Oh, another challenge problem. Go ahead, try it. Okay, well, hopefully you're getting the hang of this. It's really just m plus 1, all right? Raised to the 5th power 4 times, which is going to give you m plus 1 to the 20th power. All right, well, I hope this is making more and more sense. So now we got to expand this out a little bit, okay? And this one I'm going to go ahead and the example, I'm not going to expect you to evaluate these because to me, the idea is more about knowing the rules on how this works rather than doing the multiplication. You can just use your calculator for that, which is not the point. So in this, the idea here is the first thing you typically want to do is you typically want to expand this out, right? So I want to open up my parentheses. So I'm going to do 5 times, and I'm going to say, okay, I've got 5 to the 4th. And I have x to the 8th, okay? Because I have x squared 4 times, and then I have 5 4 times. So that's what this is going to look like. Well, this is a 1, so this is going to be 5 to the 5th times x to the 8th. That's a terrible looking 8. That's slightly better. Okay, now if you wanted to evaluate 5 to the 5th power, you're more than welcome to. Okay, and in this case, I'm not asking you to do that. All right, and that's what they did here. And so they've got 3,125 to the x to the 8th power. Okay, so we'll do a little bit more of that in class, but I also want to introduce this idea of what's called order of magnitude. Okay, and it's the quantity that can be defined as the power of 10 that's nearest to the quantity. So what does this mean, really? It really is rounding. Okay, but instead of rounding to a place value like tens or you know, maybe the ones or the hundreds, you actually are going to round to the power of 10. So you're going to round to 10. What is it, closer to 10 or 100? Is it closer to 100 or is it closer to 1,000? Is it closer to 1,000 or is it closer to 10,000? Okay, so each order of magnitude is a multiple, is a power of 10. So let's take a look. Right, like I said, you use it to estimate, to do rough calculations, and you'll see we do this a little bit more when we do, especially estimations for exponential growth, which is where we're going to be moving later in this chapter. So here would be an example. Let's say there are about 91,000 species of insects in the United States. Okay, the power of 10 that's closest to 91,000 is 100,000, which is the same as 10 to the fifth. Okay, so we could estimate that there are about 10 to the fifth species of insects in the United States. Okay, and we use 100,000 because 91,000 is between what powers of 10, right? Well, it's between 100,000 and it's between, I'm sorry, it's between 100,000 and 10,000. And 91,000 is closer to 100,000, therefore we use 10 to the fifth. Okay. I would like you to do page 492, 3 to 33 odd. Please bring these to class. I'm going to check them when you get there. There's not really a Khan Academy video exercise that's going to go very well with this. You might be able to do it next section. I'll decide later, but definitely have these. I really don't think it should take you very long if you went along with the video and kind of practiced it. I think you'll be totally fine. So, good luck.